Hi guys, so Brexit is causing headache and heartache in British farming, and insult is now being added to injury when it comes to how Christmas will be supplied. According to news reports, large volumes of EU pork is currently flooding the British market and undercutting UK farmers, right at the same time as Brexit and the ending of freedom of movement has created a labour shortage. Due to the severe lack of butchers, backlogs of pigs are appearing now on farms. This has driven down the price of meat and left some British farmers looking at bankruptcy. Boris Johnson was challenged this week by pig farmers, and his response was to make jokes about the deaths of pigs. The horrible irony of all of this is that many farmers voted for Brexit in 2016 and the Tories in 2019. Some farmers are losing as much as £17,000 every week, and this will continue unless action is taken. This is according to experts in the sector. Due to the ending of freedom of movement, there is a lack of workers in slaughterhouses to process pigs. This has resulted in farmers killing their own pigs. However, animals killed by farmers cannot be sold into the consumer market, which means that while pigs end up dead anyways, as Boris Johnson liked to highlight, the difference is that farmers get nothing for them when they're killed on site. Phil Woodhall, the general manager at Thames Valley Camback, a leading pig marketer, told reporters that German producers are now filling the gap. He said, and I quote, "So Germany, one of the powerhouses of pork production in the EU, is flooding parts of the rest of Europe with cheap pork. This is an aggravation to the crisis, which is adding to the UK's staff issues." He went on to say, "We're being undercut by European prices. Some processors have been buying those pigs, which cost 160p a kilo to produce, at 75p and 80p a kilo. That means some producers are losing around £68 per pig, and an average producer may sell 200 to 300 pigs a week." He went on to explain how British farmers are now losing up to £17,000 a week, and this will of course force many into bankruptcy. The sector is extremely angry with the government as they see ministers standing by and doing nothing. We have seen since the beginning of Brexit a real hands-off approach by the Brexiteer government. Let the market sort it out has been their modus operandi. An expected 120,000 pigs are soon to be culled, as any measure by the government to fix the labour shortage is either too little or non-existent. Farmers are now forced to kill their own pigs, in some cases just to make space. Pig farmers have been trying to send pigs to slaughter, but they can't as abattoirs have been rejecting new shipments. They say they don't have the staff available. The British Meat Processors Association has said around 80% of the staff in two major processing centres in Hull came from Eastern Europe. This means that following the ending of freedom of movement, those plants are struggling. The response from Brexiteers in and outside government is just to pay more wages. The meat industry has said that they're trying to do this, but is having very little impact on the crisis. Industry leaders have said on numerous occasions that you can't just pull people off the street and put them in heavy goods vehicles or hand them a knife to become a butcher. So the sector has once again called on government to ease restrictions on non-UK labour. The Tories have so far rejected this when it comes to most industries. Apart from the fact that Brexit now means farmers killing their own animals for incineration, the idea that the country is relying on EU imports to fix the shortages of product availability is madness. Brexit was supposed to make Britain independent, less reliant on both EU workers and EU imports. It has painfully demonstrated how economies are dependent upon each other. As I've said before, many farmers voted both for Brexit and Boris Johnson. I hope this will be a lesson learned. However, I fear that many will not learn from this crisis. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.